All right. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Amber Stewart, and I'm the owner of the Stew Project, where I help individuals maximize their living potential by simply taking emphasis on wellness. Now, if you remember last week, I started my Back to Joy Happiness Reset Blueprint. And we went over the 6 layers to happiness that could be blocking your joy. Now, last week I just briefly went over them, and starting today, we are going to go through each layer and talk about them more in depth and how to overcome them. So, without further ado, let's dive in. That's not what I want. That's much better. All right. So, this first layer is desire. And this is one of the most common yet underestimated barriers to happiness. And let's explore why that is and how to overcome it. So, just a quick recap. Desire often gets a bad rep, but it is not the enemy. What matters is understanding the why behind what we want. Are our are our are your desires authentically yours, or are they shaped by outside factors such as society, family, or social media? All right, so roadblock number one is misaligned desires. So, external expectations can create endless cycles of wanting, and many of us chase what we think we're supposed to want, be it career milestones, material possessions, relationships, or even lifestyles. But here's the truth: joy comes when our desires align with our inner values. So, ask yourself, is this my dream or someone else's? Okay, so now really quick, we're going to dive into a break free activity to help you learn how to overcome or be aware of your desires. So, this activity, I want you to write down or think about your top 3 desires, and I want you to reflect. Are they your desires or something imposed on you? Oftentimes people can push you to do things such as, oh, you should write that book because you're really good. You have such a good story. Or, hey, you should really go into this area, this arena in your life because you're really good at it. Now, I know one thing that I had always wanted to be a dancer growing up. And so when it was my senior year in high school, my grandmother had asked me, like, hey, Amber, what do you want to do when you grow up? Because, like, college is right around the corner. Like, what are your plans? And I was like, I never really thought about that. I'm like, maybe I'll just go to school to be a dancer. And apparently she did not like that answer. And so she called my grandfather. Granted, they were divorced at the time, but they were like this. So they knew, like, hey, we're divorced, but we're still a team unit. But anywho, she ended up calling him, and about 3 minutes later, he ended up calling me and was like, hey, a little birdie told me. Well, ain't no bird. That's my grandma. But anywho, he was like, hey, a little birdie told me that you want to be a dancer growing up. Well, instead of pursuing a dance career, why don't you become a pharmacist? And you can do and you can pursue dance as a hobby anytime after your job. Now, if anybody knew me as a child growing up, I was a very active and vibrant being. Like, I was a cheerleader, I was a dancer, I was loud. Like, although I loved visual arts, I did not like going to visual arts in my grade school, because in 4th and 5th grade, I went to an elementary school for gifted kids, like for super smart kids to enhance their creativity. So there are different areas like dance, visual arts, theater arts, and When I was a kid, I had two options. I could either go into visual arts or dance. And I tried out for both of them. And I was really torn because I was like, man, although I'm really good at art and it's really cool, I can express myself creatively. But on the other hand, I liked to move, and I don't know what it was, but I just love dance. And so if anybody knew that about me, they would not have told me to go into that career path. But fortunately for me, I ended up breaking my ankle in a cheerleading accident, so that was gone. But because of that accident, I was able to um, I was able to see the opportunity of becoming a physical therapist. And so that's why I pursued my bachelor's degree in exercise science, because I was like, well, I don't want to wear a suit when I grow up every day when I go to work. I just want to be comfortable and, be happy, make good money so I can support myself. So that's when I went to that career. Obviously, I did not become a physical therapist. I ended up becoming a personal trainer and working with people with chronic conditions. Granted, I still help people overcome joint pains and musculoskeletal imbalances because of my corrective exercise specialist certification, or my personal training certification, anywho. But so this just goes to let you know that you don't have to go after other people's desires. And ultimately, if you follow your heart and your intuition and the flow of life, you will become or have your dream career fall into your lap. But that has nothing to do with this break free activity. I just thought that was a cool story. Cool story. So, in this break free activity, I want you to write down or think about your top 3 desires. And this could be anything that you want. It can be love, career, or just like your personal aesthetics, where you want to live, all these things, or the things that keep you up at night or just constantly make you tick. Now, write them down or think about them. And now I want you to reflect. Are they your desires or something imposed on you? And so if you find that any of them feel authentic, I want you to take this time to write them to better reflect what truly brings you happiness, or just shift your mindset on how to make that change. So with this activity, I want you to know that it is important to know that just merely reflecting on your desires and observing whether they are authentically yours or influenced by others can help you release desires that hold you back. So when you get a chance, take the time to do this break-free activity to make sure that your desires are aligned with your higher self. All right, so moving on to letting go of expectations. This doesn't mean giving up. It actually means releasing the tight grip that robs joy from the present. And if you remember in our last video, I really stressed that happiness can only be experienced right here and right now. If you focused on the happiness that you experienced in the past, you're only remembering something that already happened. You're reliving a past experience. If you are focused on something that can bring you joy in the future, you are longing for something that's not here now. So you can only experience true joy and happiness right now. And when we cling too tightly to how we think things should be, we often close ourselves off to the beauty and possibilities unfolding around us. Instead, embracing flexibility and presence allows us to find fulfillment in the journey, which is a powerful part of the manifestation process. Manifestation isn't just about focusing on the outcome, it's about aligning your energy with what you desire. So, letting go also allows you to trust that the steps you're taking now are leading you exactly where you need to be. And so, by releasing rigid expectations, you make space for new opportunities, ideas, and solutions to flow in your life effortlessly. Now, remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's creating a life that feels joyful and aligned every step of the way. As Isaiah 55, 8 through 9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declare the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Bow. Now, this scripture teaches us that breakthroughs we long for often don't come in the ways we expect. But when we release control and remain optimistic, we open ourselves to outcomes that are not only different, but often far better than we could have imagined. Now, letting go of our expectations and trusting the process helps us stay grounded in faith and find peace and joy, even when the path takes unexpected turns. Now, this is something that I go in full detail in my Stress Alchemy course, but I'm not going to get too much into detail about this topic. So instead, I'm just going to end this lesson right here. All right, so great job today. You have tackled the first step in uncovering your authentic self and your authentic happiness. So, in our next lesson, we'll address one of the most influential barriers to joy, which is limiting beliefs. So, I will see you there and take care.